We were creating this pop-up bar on live stream last night, but I had to finish early because the boys came online.
Yeah, there it is, boys. There it is. There it is, boys.
There's the
There it is. There it is.
tournament.
And I mean, need I say more? And so I kind of want to finish this off. So we're going to be focusing just off our reference image. Also, if you missed the live stream, give me a like and subscribe and notification and all that so you can catch me next time. We're going to be focusing on just creating the seats and also some lights under here. This was recommended by Spooky. Go check out his channel, little link in the description. Around putting fabric below the lights to kind of diffuse the lights. It's kind of like the idea. Now, I'm not going to be too concerned around creating the bottles and so on and so forth, like those little assets. And just for reference, this is what we created on the week before this live stream. So if you want to go check that out as well. And probably we'll create an entry point so this guy can get in and out. Makes sense. So the way I'm going to approach this is first create a rough object. Yeah, sweet. Roughed it out. So what we've got here is obviously our kind of like our footrest, which we could probably bring up a little bit more. Then this is our top section and then a bit of a piston where it can kind of sit in. So we can start refining the details a little bit. I think we should probably make this a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to scale, but I only want it to scale along the X and the Y, not the Z. So I can press Shift Z to cancel out the Z axis. We'll make that a bit bigger. There we go. I like that. I am going to delete the bottom face. And we're going to E to extrude and scale that in. Now, the reason why I'm deleting anything that's an n-gon, so something that has more than 4 corners, is because I use a tool, having a stroke. For texturing, I use a tool called DreamUV, and those textures are very specific to have quads. So I'm just going to close that up, and then we'll delete that piece in there. Actually, we'll bring this up, E to extrude, scale, E to extrude back down, and then I'm going to delete that internal face. Nice. Right click, auto shade smooth, and we've got kind of like that. Now, I am going to grab, I did create this as a separate piece, but I'm going to grab these two, and I'm just going to press Ctrl B just to add in a small bevel, and we'll delete that top face, delete face, and then just press and hold F to cover that one, select that, and then we'll do the same here. There is a face on this cylinder, and we're just going to get rid of that. There we go. I am okay with that. Now, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to separate the object. I want to bring it back down, and then I'm going to delete this face and this face. I want to try and fill this. So let's try Control F to fill, and we're going to go grid fill. Sweet. Perfect. So we've got quads. Now, Marco, why'd you do that? Well, let me tell you something. There is a tool called Random Flow. There we go. Link in the description. If I go into Extras, Utility, and Panel Cloth. Actually, no, select everything. Shift Q, Extras, Utility, Panel Cloth. Go into Object Mode, Marco. Jeez, man. Shift Q, Extras, Utility, Panel Cloth. I'm going to increase the subdivisions. Should have saved it. Not bad. Let's go back to the start. And if I press play. All right, let's undo all that. And we'll try again. Shift Q, Panel Cloth, increase the cuts. Let's just give it a sec to let it calculate. It's semi getting what we're after, but it's more the topology on top's not right. So let's go undo. Okay, delete that. Let's maybe delete these, delete faces. I'm going to press F, I to extrude, and now I'm going to delete those faces. From here, let's go Control F, grid fill. Get some extra geometry in there. Now let's see what happens when we do cloth panel. The idea is semi getting there. What if we went GG and we brought that in? Select all, merge by distance, QF, and we're going to try this one more time. And it spits this out, which isn't too bad. Let's just hide that one underneath. Are we okay with that? Yeah. It's going to put a little bevel on it. I'm okay with that. So we can see that we've very quickly created a stool. Just going to join these together, Control J. So we have that. And then going to texture it. Now, like I said, I use a tool called DreamUV. So if I press N, bring up side panel, I can click hotspot and something's failed. Lovely. Great. There we've got a piece in there. Delete face, delete face. Let's go into a hotspot. We know that's worked. So from what I'm going to do now is ++. We're going to create two materials, new, and this one's going to be our metal material, raw. And then this one here can be kind of like a plasticky color, and we'll go run burgundy. This top section here, this top section here will be our red. And so now if we go into rendered mode, what are we looking at? Not too shabby. It's having a hard time because it can't UV unwrap this properly, which is fine. So what I might do is just add in some extra seams, and then that'll hopefully splice it up a little bit. There. Control E, mark seam. It didn't work in the slightest. So I'm just going to grab whatever material. At the moment, I'm using the 5000 material library because I can. And now we've got kind of like these black cushions sitting on the stool. Perfect. More than happy with that. If I do an Alt D, and rather than pressing Shift D, which duplicates the object, if I Alt D, I create kind of like a duplicate of the object as reference to the previous one, rather than just making a brand new object, if that makes sense. Now, at the moment, I do have some big get stuff lights in here. I'm just going to remove them for now. Delete those lights. And what I want to do is create another set of lights that will sit underneath. But I want to use a texture. So if we go ahead and create, I'm just going to go cube for now. And we'll scale that down like this. Something along those lines. Just move it all the way up. And I can be very loose with this one because we're not really going to see it too much. So that's something I'm okay with. Let's bring it down a little bit. Okay. I want a nice texture in here. Now, on my recent trip to Sydney, look at the insides of these trains. Glorious. So I took a photo of the light. Using a free tool called Sand Ripper, I was able to kind of like map out that section that I want extracted and then was able to create this texture. So from here, I'm going to add in two materials. Let's just hotspot that. I'm going to make the main material just kind of like a dark material. And then this one here, let's go into a new material, shading, and we'll make sure we call this m_light text train, just so I know it's from the train texture. Control T to import an image. I'm going to go open. There's our light train texture. Give that the color. We will also bring it down to the emission and strength 10. We might just need to UV unwrap it so it's sitting properly. There we go. Just kind of like do that. Back into shading. So can we see it a little bit better? We can. Let's go 5. Let's go 1. Let's go 5. And so now we don't have that kind of like uniform white light. Could probably do a little bit more with it. For instance, we could do a color ramp and put that in the strength. And then if we bring that down and this one up, then we've got something like that. Put that into there. Color still goes into the top. And we've got that kind of yellow spiel. Perfect. That is what I'm after. Strength. Now, if I want to increase the strength of the light, we can go into add a new node, and I'm just going to type in math. Let's go multiply. And if we go 5, there we go. So now we've got the white bits of the strength of 5. So GZ, can we line this up? Just being very loosey-goosey. Let's go GY. We're trying to find a nice spot. Alt D, Alt DY, Alt DY. This might have to be actually 20. We might just move it forward a little bit. So I'm just going to grab our lights here. And we can go GY XX, so it travels along the normals. What does that look like now? It's kind of giving us a really nice glow under there. I like that. Just going to join them together. Control A, I'm going to set the location so it's in the middle. That way, when I come in and add in that mirror modifier, it'll pop it to the side. Control A, apply the rotation. Yeah, there we go. I reckon that looks pretty good. If we were to come in and bring down the elevation of the sky, yeah, I think we still need to increase the strength there. That is not really working. Might be a case then, let's bring that back down to 250 how it was. Shift S, cursor word origin, and then we'll just add in some lights. Now we can see I've got one light selected and we can see the material is area 006. If I do Alt D to duplicate it and kind of set it as a link object, it keeps the same lighting conditions or the lighting setup. So I'm just going to grab both of these and we'll just mirror it to the other side. So now when we press that, I can now increase the power of this to 250, 500. Why? I'm going to guess this isn't really transparent enough. 0.5. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. So we can see that kind of the bar has a lot of lighting around it, but we don't have anything on top of this guy. So we can quickly fix that. Ugh. Let's quickly fix this. Rotate Y. Great. I will, however, Shift D to duplicate that. Rotate 9 degrees, but I'll go P, separate by selection. Let's try and get this as straight as possible now. And then we'll put a piece above Mr. Barman. Great. Alt H, bring our lights back. And now we've got that whole area illuminated. Perfect. I reckon something that is missing, like it seems still a little bit too clean. So we're just going to add in one more little thing. Cables. Just going to use a Bezier curve. Let's go like this. Rotate 90. It's a little bit too harsh. Do something like that. Rotate 90. And then that can sit up into there. That can come into like here. Excellent. We might just move that over because it's actually in the middle of the lights at the moment. Then over into the Bezier curve stuff, data, geometry, and we're going to increase the depth. Perfect. And then from here, it's not really joining into anything. So we'll bring it up. Go into there, sunshine. Let's go Shift D, duplicate it. And this one here will scale like so. This one can dangle a little bit more, something like that. And then that kind of just gives us a little bit of extra depth into the scene. Now you can kind of see how it's a little bit janky. We can just come up here into the resolution preview and just increase that. It's a bit too much, 24. Nice. And then I'm just going to quickly throw I think I've got a black material, black fabric. Yeah, whatever. And then there we have it. It's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. If you want like a more of a step-by-step and going through like the full process, even though I think I went towards the end of quite a bit of the full process, let me know in the comments below and I can do overview videos or step-by-step ones. But regardless, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, trying to hit that 100,000 mark. I would appreciate it. Also, yeah, check out Gaming in the Can.